Hello, my name is Vlad, and welcome to our new podcast from the series named Social Inclusion. The topic I chose for today is the social inclusion of autistic people in educational system. First, I would like to talk about the process of diagnosing this disorder. Um, an autism diagnosis has to be based on criteria listed in the Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, uh, or in no, I will start again. I will start again. It's not natural at all. Okay, so hello, my name is Vlad, and welcome to our new podcast from the series named Social Inclusion. The topic I chose for today is about the social inclusion of our autistic people in the educational system. First, I would like to talk about the process of diagnosing this disorder. An autism spectrum disorder uh, diagnosis has to be based on criteria listed in the Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, or the International Classification of Diseases 11th revision. Even if many people do not see autism as a disease, these manuals are the standard classification systems which are used by healthcare professionals to assess and diagnose autism. The process of diagnosing this disorder is based on asking about the child's medical history or carrying out direct observations. During these steps, the specialists use specific tools to make sure that the process is consistent enough. During the process, a health professional may ask the patient questions about his thinking, learning, speech, friendships, and school. Also, a psychiatrist will examine the patient and give him some tests to verify if there could be any reasons of his for his developmental delays, or if he or she has autism or ADHD. And another step for diagnosing this disorder uh, would be the diagnosis assessment. This step would be necessary only if the doctor can't find another thing that caused the patient's behavior. He or she will be interviewed and observed for signs of autism or any other developmental disorder. Now let's talk about the inclusion of the autistic people in education. Inclusive practices often refer to the inclusion of many children with autism spectrum disorder, also called ASD, in mainstream education. In fact, insufficient support can be can affect detrimentally well-being, long-term development, and the inclusivity agenda. Research found that there is a significant lack of support in education uh, for parents or carers and school staff, with the mainstream educational system poorly designed uh, and not enough resourced to facilitate the inclusion of the children with ASD, also called autistic spectrum disorder. The constant work of parents or carers and with the frontline ACN educators gave a sense of hope and engendered inclusivity for the children who participated, who also felt supported. Strategies to modify and adjust the educational system in mainstream education for autistic students are under research. Some studies and researches found that uh, some studies and researches were focusing on the perspectives of autistic students, environmental adaptations to meet the students' sensitivity difficulty and to enhance the students' inclusion regarding content, thought, and knowledge development skills from a didactic perspective. Studies and researches found that
You can do like read, and then when you're ready, say it to the camera.
yeah,
It's fine to stop because you will cut it. You will cut it, so read it first and then say it to the camera.
okay. Some studies and researches were focusing on the perspective of autistic students, um, environmental adaptations to meet the students' sensitivity, uh, difficulty, and content thought and knowledge development from a didactic perspective. The studies and researches found that both barriers and facilitators were detected. Uh, the results show a strong focus on the strategies at the school level and foremost on implementing positive attitudes in teachers as a strategy to develop inclusive education for autistic students. Now let's talk more about the integration of autistic people into schools. The integration of autistic people into schools means providing them with the opportunity to receive education and engage in society. It is a social right that guarantees these children a decent life and breaks the feeling of social isolation, boredom, and the feeling of withdrawing in themselves. Now, I would like to talk about the goal of integrating autistic people uh, into schools. This goal is meant to teach them in a way similar to the way their non-autistic peers learn. Even if the process of integrating autistic children um, is a difficult challenge, it makes an important additions to the lives of the children with autism. The most important steps are providing autistic children uh, with all appropriate opportunities to improve their self-concept and social behaviors, especially since these matters are linked to each other, focusing more on language skills, uh, and so on. Special education for autistic children in regular schools works to avoid isolating the child from his family and any other people. Integrating autistic children into schools achieves many goals, the most important of which is reducing psychological and social differences between the normal and the abnormal child. Um, Integrating autistic people also help to change people's direction, the teachers and parents dealings uh, um, with the child from negative to positive. Giving autistic people a better chance for psychological and academical development is essential. In conclusion, in order to have a more fair and inclusive world based on equality, we must also think at the people who might need our help in order to live a decent life and to have a decent education. I will start again because I said decent two times. In conclusion, in order to have a more fair and inclusive world based on equality, we must also think about uh, other people who might need our help um, in order to have a decent life and a normal level of education. So that was all for today. Thank you for watching our new podcast and see you next time. Bye.